How did we meet?
We were in grade 11. We befriended each other. Then 2002, we became prom-mates. I still remember it was 20 November 2002. We dated for 10 years and we never kissed for 10 years. 2011, when the preacher said you may kiss the bride, that's the first time we kissed.
It's like giving yourself a challenge, and when nobody else is involved, but it's just a challenge that is facing you. This whole relationship thing, dating, marriage, is a partnership kind of a thing. If you cannot agree, you're not going anywhere together, because the only thing that actually makes you walk together or do anything together is because there's something you actually agree upon.
But tell me, if I initiated sex, whenever I had sex for 10 years, if I one day, lo and behold, I initiated sex, what would have your response been?
Hello everyone. Welcome once again to another episode of Love and Marriage Today with Bake and Nogwanda. We are back, and remember the last time we spoke about how we met? So we never finished that. It's a bit of a long story, but yes, today we just want to continue there. We want to take you through the journey. Once again, thank you so much for all your comments. Thank you for interacting with us. Thank you for, for sharing and for subscribing. The family is growing. The family is growing. Yeah. So, Love, do you want to take us through where we ended?
We've got comments. We've got comments from our viewers. There's a comment from Teen Talk with Poppy. She says, as a single person aspiring to be married, this was an eye-opening and profound episode.
Wow. Okay.
So I'm liking that our episodes are engaging not only married people, but also single people.
Yeah. Very important. Very important, because every relationship starts somewhere, There's a place where it's just an entry point. So, yeah.
There's Ohana and Mami. She says, I need the What Women Want episode. It's rough, Lindlin. It's rough at home. This episode had my fiance clapping as though he had won a lottery. We're using this series as a premarital counseling program.
Oh, wow. Okay, so people are really taking this seriously. It says a lot to us. We really appreciate that. It says a lot. And actually how we should also, take it seriously.
To think that you think it's just a podcast, it's just a show, whereas people take it so seriously.
Yeah.
Some are saying we might not be able to afford a therapy session, but everything that we watch, we feel like it's applicable. Yep. I feel like it's a breath of fresh air. Thank you so much to our viewers. It's profound. Remember, we have Mpumalanga Recharge Your Marriage Conference. We have 3,000 people attending. We'll be in Middleburg. Please don't tell us, please come to Nelspruit, come to Piet Retief. We can't come to your houses, guys. Let's get there together in one central point. And please, no excuses. We have people that drive from as far as Polokwane to attend, from as far as Lesotho, Botswana. We've had people that travel from Zimbabwe to attend, Eswatini to attend. So if you are in Barberton, or you are in, Hendrina, or wheresoever, you are in Mpumalanga, please attend 29 March at Middleburg Barquentic Hall. Tickets are at WebTicket. Also on the 5th of April, we have our KwaZulu-Natal Recharge Your Marriage Conference, Durban, the Jesus Dome. We have 3,000 people attending. Please don't tell us, come to Richardsburg, come to Peter. We can't come to your houses. Some people want us to come to your house. This is a veranda. If you are in Durban, if you are in Richardsburg, you're just close to Durban. Let's make a drive. Let's normalize in 2025 making a drive. We're continuing this week on how we met, part 2.
Yeah.
How did we meet?
I think the last time in the last episode, we mentioned the values that we both shared, and what we liked about each other. I think it's quite important to share something. There's something that should attract you to the other person. So it's that thing that you actually share.
So there's an importance of agreeing on something, having your constitution. We did have our constitution. So just to give a summary to our viewers that just joined us, we spoke about our journey, how we met at high school, 2001. We were in grade 11. We befriended each other. Then 2002, we became prom-mates. I still remember it was 20 November 2002. You agreed to be my prom-mate, and I am honored. Then 2003, we were kind of like gap year, but that's when I popped the question, I love you. Then we dated throughout college. We dated for 10 years, and we never kissed for 10 years. We never kissed for 10 years. We got married 2011. 2011, when the preacher said, "You may kiss the bride," that's the first time we kissed. That kiss was so special. Someone is salivating already. That kiss was so special. I was looking forward to that kiss. So we spoke about values, the values that we agreed upon. You spoke about purity. We agreed that we won't have sex before marriage, and we were able to keep it for 10 years. We agreed that we're going to stay humble. We will never fight about money. We agreed about God being the center of our lives. So we're talking about the importance of agreeing. How important is it, Sam, to agree as a couple that's dating? Do you just rock into marriage without having an agreement or some constitution?
Well, unfortunately, if you don't agree, you can't work together. That's what the Bible says. Hey, if you do not agree, if you cannot agree, you're not going anywhere together, because the only thing that actually makes you walk together or do anything together is because there's something you actually agree upon. And, this whole relationship thing, dating, marriage, is a partnership kind of a thing, So that's what we all need to view relationships as. It's partnership. So even in corporate, even in business, when I have a partner, when we are partners, it means there's something that we are both focusing on, that we are both agreeing that we want to achieve, or it's something that we want to, provide an answer to, or whatever. But there's an agreement. Very important.
I remember us agreeing that no matter what happens in life, no matter who earns more than who, I will always be the head of our home. We agreed on that one. And it's been a core principle of our lives. When I presented that no matter what happens, no matter how much you earned more than me or how much I earned more than you, I'd still be the head of the home. Did you find it awkward or stuff, controlling or stuff? What were your thoughts?
Well, my thoughts, so remember, I come from an all-women, all-powerful women, excuse me, all-powerful women kind of a background. And so when you came, when you mentioned that, my thought about it was quickly directed towards, the gospel, because that is what we are guided. That's what guides us into this whole family union and family institution, the husband being the head. And for me, I won't lie, it was something that was kind of weird, in the sense that I'm not used to it. I didn't know it. I had not seen it. I don't know what it means for a man to be the one heading a family, because I've seen women heading families in my life. So I felt like, okay, but what was important for me was that I could see, and I heard it when you spoke about those things, that it wasn't a matter of you trying to belittle me. It wasn't a matter of you trying to, to make sure that you come over me and I'm not seen, I'm not heard.
Toxic masculinity and stuff.
But it was coming from a place where there needs to be order. It was coming from a place where I take the leadership role, which is when I think about it, I think it's tough. And I think it's, it's it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. So when you said, this is what we need to agree on, that I'll be the head of the family. Matters not what is the situation or circumstance that we are actually living in at that moment in time. It actually helped us.
I'm just thinking right now of couples who never agree.
Yeah.
They just hope they're going to get married and will figure it out. There's expectations. I'm of the understanding that many a times what leads to many divorces is unmet expectations. People are never frank enough to say, for example, when it comes to males, if they want respect, to say what I'm looking for in a relationship is respect. You come, you say, I'm looking for the flowers, I'm looking for the quality time. Those are your expectations as a woman. I'm looking for a man that will protect me. I'm looking for a man that will stand up for me when it comes to his family. We don't talk. People don't talk about expectations. Then, lo and behold, expectations are not met. People are disappointed. Can I say something? If when I said, irrespective of who earns more, I am going to be the head of our home as per the biblical principle or the principles of the good book. If you said to me, non-so-and-so, do you know what I would have done?
Yeah, you would have ended the relationship.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it doesn't agree with the principles that, you believe in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would have ended things. It's so funny. I think I was a very decisive man. I knew what I wanted.
But I think it would have been something that we then both again agree on, that maybe we should go separate ways, because I was also going to be feeling like, this one wants to come and control me.
Yeah.
So probably it would be a thing of maybe not.
Interesting. But I was willing to stand for certain principles. I was willing to break up. I think we need to normalize when it comes to couples dating that it's okay to have a position, a strong position on deal breakers. For example, you had the right to say to me, if you dare, my guy, lay a hand on me one time. If you dare lay a hand on me, it's over. We come in with no expectations. We place an order and there's nothing we've placed on the driveway. There's no order we've placed on the driveway.
But we're already on the last window.
When we get to the last window, we expect something.
Window expecting.
You expect a gentleman. You expect a woman of virtue. I was clear to you that I'm looking for a virtuous woman from day one. And we got married. I found that.
Yep.
So it's important to agree.
It's important to know what you want, and then bring it to the fore. The other person should know. It shouldn't be a guess kind of a situation where I'm just thinking this is what she wants. I'm just thinking this is what he wants. And then, because that's where, we speak about unmet expectations, and that's where all the quarrels and all the arguments start.
But tell me, if I initiated sex, whenever I had sex for 10 years, if I one day, lo and behold, I initiated sex, what would have your response been?
It would have been no. Because I knew, so I have, that's why I keep saying that one needs to know what they want. And there's a great possibility that what you want is a subjective kind of a gratification. It's not necessarily connected to even the relationship. My saying no to sex was never even about the person I'm dating, or, it was about a personal thing. It was about a personal agreement that I had made with my God, with myself. Because it's like giving yourself a challenge, and when nobody else is involved, but it's just a challenge that is facing you. So I had given myself a challenge.
Would you have lost trust and not even trust? Would you have lost respect for me?
Yes, definitely.
So if I said to you, I want some, I want a quick man, would you have said, I'm disappointed in
Yes,
you.
I would have said, oh.
Would you have ended the relationship?
You one of them.
would you have ended the relationship?
Yes, I probably would
Yeah,
have.
but something in me told me, you're not the girl to mess up with. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just knew if I could go along those, not that I wanted to, no, I wasn't intending to. I just knew that if I go along those lines, you're a woman of principle, and actually that's what attracted me to you.
Yeah. So yeah, definitely, because honestly, you were not the first guy, that was attracted to me, and I had another dating, my own spin of dating, but I had not slept with any of the people that I had dated, because that was my.
Bogota.
That was my, that's where the buck stops.
So I had another couple I was assisting. They consulted with me some time ago. Actually, the other one said they don't believe in God in the Bible. And the other one says, I believe in church. I was raised in church. I want to take our kids to church. And the other one says, don't take my kids to church. It was a quarrel, which could lead to a divorce. And difference in faith beliefs is one of the major causes of divorce.
Yes.
I think it's important for couples to understand that before you say I do,
yes,
you be clear on what you believe in. You believe in spiritually, legally, scientifically, psychologically, when it comes to your family members, in-laws and stuff. It's important. Many a times people rush into marriage in order to rush out.
Yeah.
People don't agree.
But also you must understand that there is a great possibility that you may not agree about everything.
Yeah.
So you must be able to have some kind of a gauge where you know that, okay, when it comes to this, there is no compromising whatsoever, but there is something that I can compromise on. So some people maybe can say, when it comes to the faith and religion issues, no compromising whatsoever, yes. But then maybe with something else, because maybe we may not agree on everything. And with those that we don't agree on, then we choose to say, okay, maybe I'll silence my whatever qualms I had with that issue, so that we let one to live.
We even spoke about polygamy, the episode on polygamy. I think it's sane to ask each other before you say I do. To say, do you believe in polygamy? Do you want polygamy?
Or what's your thoughts?
Why can't we be honest from the word go?
Yeah.
Than this thing of,
surprise.
Surprise. This is what I believe in,
I've always believed in this. Then somebody will say that.
Do we believe in budgeting? Do we believe in abortion? Do we believe in polygamy? We need to be clear. Do you believe in God or you don't believe in God? It's important. Do you believe that if you start earning more than me as a woman, it will mean you're the head of the home? The question becomes, when we marry for richer, for poorer, for better or worse. If it happens that I lose a job as a man, do you believe that will mean it's an opportunity for you to disrespect me? Do you believe in physical abuse? If it ever happens, what will happen? Do we believe in divorce? What kind of a background do you come from? I think it's important that we discuss such things during dating.
Very
Do you
important.
Believe in physical exercise?
I think people think, oh, those subjects are boring. Oh, like now it sounds like we are interviewing each other. But maybe that's what actually we need to do.
Interview each other.
Just interview
it's
each other.
It's important to interview each other. Where do you come from? What is your province? Where is your family?
Yeah.
What is
because others are actually struggling with culture clashes. So
it's important to go as far as, I'm sorry, if the relationship is so deep, we ask each other, how much do you earn at work? Yeah. Do you have debts? Because some people get married and you find that someone has been blacklisted and the like. Yes. We don't talk about certain things. Yeah. How much is your interest in sex? For example, they don't have quite a libido, and we don't talk. You get into marriage, you just realize that someone is low down there and you're up there, then you're incompatible. There's a lot that we need to to talk about, and people don't talk about, and people don't have a constitution.
Yeah. So what would you say makes us work?
What makes us work is our constitution, number one. We met,
Make
we
us
agreed.
sound like we're a whole parliament.
We are a parliament. We run the country. What makes us work is our constitution. Everything I promised you, I delivered. There's no surprise unless you could say it. Everything I promised you, I delivered. I promised I'll take care of you. I promised we'll go to work, the both of us. I promised we'll go to work. We'll hustle. We'll build an empire together. I never created a clause for indoda must, a man must. In as much as, yes, I should be a provider. I should, gift you with gifts. But we agreed that we are building this home together. True. So we agreed on the foundation of God, and that's what we spoke about. So what makes us work, first and foremost, is our constitution. And without that constitution, the Daminis don't exist.
Yeah.
If that constitution is gone, our marriage is gone.
Yeah.
What makes us...
I think also what makes us work is our characters.
Yeah.
Our characters and how we are able to... Sure. And this is not an easy one. This is not to actually say or maybe put pressure on other couples and say, this is how, you should do things and it's quite easy. It's totally not an easy one, but it takes a deeper understanding. It takes a deeper knowledge of what you are in, the institution of marriage. Because I'm more... You're more on a like an extrovert. I'm more of an introvert. But in that way, or in our differences, we're able to actually gel.
What's the differences?
We're able to use our differences in the right way to complement each other.
Yeah.
To complement each other. So I think what other couples you find that they struggle with is that they are not able to use their differences in the right way.
I think in the difference, you worked perfectly well, because someone who's loud like me would have never worked for me. Would have never worked for me. You are quiet. I'm the loudest guy. I'm the extrovert. You're the introvert. So opposites attract. I'm kind of the risk taker. You kind of a little bit laid back. You actually, in being laid back, you provide a structure for me, because I could burn the entire country alone. But at the same time, in your quietness and being laid back, sometimes you could miss great opportunities.
So in that way,
we stretch each other and
yeah.
stuff. So I think it worked brilliantly. I think another thing that makes us work is that we are lovers of fun.
Yes.
We entered this thing, especially from a Christian background. I had observed that the most boring people are Christians. And if there's one thing that I was not looking forward to, was to live a boring life. Okay. And by the way, being a pastor, pastors many times don't go to the movies. Pastors many times, they don't have fun. It's always the Bible and stuff. I'd seen that live from, pastors who were senior than myself. I said, I want fun. So, we spend time together. We're always together. You're my best friend. Anytime I knock off from work, I'm always going to you. And it's fun.
Yeah.
What do you think about the fact that whenever I knock off from work, I always go to you straight?
I appreciate that. I really appreciate that, because I know there are women who yearn for that, who want just that, their husbands would just knock out of work and go straight home. But you find that they have other places to start.
Yeah.
They have other places that would rather spend their time instead of being with their wives and being home. It tells me you still find me interesting. It tells me you are committed. It tells me this is where you want to be. Okay. Because honestly, it's not a thing of I call you and I say, where are you? Where are you? When are you coming? And I think that you know, having that habit or actually making that your life, you leaving the office and going straight home, has created that trust, because the consistency and the consistency basically, it has made me to even be laid back, if I can say it that way.
What do you mean laid back?
Like, I don't worry. I don't. Yes, maybe if I'm saying that the time.
But if it's very rare that I'm at home later than 7 p.m.
Of course.
And if ever I kind of like, it's like 7 p.m. I've seen a few times you've called.
Yes.
And it's like you've been used to that. And I appreciate that, actually. It tells me the kind of man I am. It tells me that I'm a man of honor. And
Definitely. I'll call if I'm seeing that, okay, the time is moving a bit, further away from the times that you're usually home. And most of the time when you are not going to be home by the time we're used to, you mention. So for me, it gives me that peace of mind.
I think I'm a sucker. I'm a sucker for your presence. I love your presence. I love our kids' presence. You're my best friend. Although I do have friends, but you're my best friend. And my other friends are also our 3 kids. I've enjoyed building a friendship with them, which is something that I never got at home. My father was never intentionally built a friendship with me. It was dead, where we grew up from. Your father was, respected there, father, kind of like the scary lion. So I've built a friendship. My kids jump over me. They can tell me anything. I've enjoyed how our 11-year-old tells us she likes a certain guy at school and stuff. How Olubansi, our 9-year-old, ran to me one time and told me that she thinks she likes a certain boy at school. Okay, I haven't heard much from Onovuyo, who's 3 years, but I guess I'll start hearing stories soon. I think I enjoy that friendship. I feel like parenting, sharp parenting involves that kind of a friendship, being a safe space. So I love your presence.
Aww.
And I'm happy I'm doing this podcast with you. I get to play with you. I could be locked with you in a house for straight 2 years.
And survive.
Woo,
my goodness. Well, I would survive too. No, I think I would survive. Maybe in the beginning I wouldn't be able to say that. But now that we have spent 14 years together.
Yeah, married.
I'm
then 24
like,
years, when you include dating, 24 years, yeah.
I'm like, you know what? I wouldn't be bored.
I wouldn't be bored.
There would be so much to do, actually.
We'll be playing our squid game.
So let's talk about this big subject in our life, the importance of God. And it's God this, it's God that. Yes, that's who we are and that's our foundation. But why?
God being our foundation, we met as Christians, not just Christians, churchgoers, I dislike this loose usage of the word Christian. It's quite a disappointment. It's a shame to our Christian faith.
That everyone is a Christian.
Everyone calls themselves a Christian. For us, Christianity is about a Christ who hung on a cross one day. He sacrificed, and we have to sacrifice. And we need to stick to certain codes and ethics of Christianity. I owe it to God, and I owe it to other Christians. We live in a generation that doesn't see itself responsible to other Christians.
No
we live in a generation
whatsoever.
of people who want to live anyhow and still call themselves Christians.
Yeah.
Christianity is about forsaking everything. He says, whosoever will put a hand on the plow and look back, they are not fit to be part of the kingdom. Many people want to be Christians, but they want to lay a hand on the plow and look back. They don't want to lose stuff. I lost stuff to be Christian. I lost stuff to be a Christian. I lost stuff to be a Christian. You know, there's certain clothes back in the days, you know, the old time gospel that we had received. There are certain clothes that I burned the day I received Christ in 1998, because for me it was a journey of transformation. So we met as Christians, and when I detected your pulse, I could feel the Christ likeness inside of you. I knew that you are a true child of God. You're not a churchgoer, because there's a difference. Oh, yes, I've met women which are churchgoers, and I was turned off. They could never be my partner. But I met you. You had the Christ in you. I could feel it, and I felt like we could connect. There's certain things I don't debate with you.
Yeah.
When you're on a journey, you want to be with someone, especially in a marital journey, you want to be with someone you won't debate about certain values. For example, me and you are tithers, which is basically a principle of giving 10% of your wealth. God gave me $1 million today without a debate. I just take 100,000 into church, and I lose nothing. Actually, I gain the more. God gives me 10 million rands. I put 1 million without a debate, because it's a biblical principle. In as much as people say it's an Old Testament thing, but it's a principle. Yeah. And the principle that we have, which is timeless, is a principle of prioritization, is prioritizing God. Yeah. And you have encouraged me to be that. Imagine if I was married to someone who didn't believe in those principles, would say, you're wasting our money and stuff. You understand? So I don't do it for God. I do it for me. It grounds me. Yeah. It teaches me gratefulness. So God plays a big part in our lives. Actually, I don't trust you. I trust the God in you. Yeah. Had it not been for the God in you or the Christ in you, I wouldn't place my trust in you. I trust you because of the Christ in you. Yeah. I know you wouldn't cheat on me because of the Christ in you. Yeah. Had you not had Christ, I would be troubled. And actually, had I not had Christ, ma'am, you would have every reason.
Exactly.
You would have every
I wanted
reason
to come back
to be
with
worried.
that, to say it's actually vice versa. That's, for me, it's God that I trust in you. You as a man, you are like, oh man. But because now there is Christ in you, then you become different.
Like a bulldog that's
you are
unrestrained.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, for me, something else that, you know, I think about when I think about the importance of God in our marriage, especially for myself as a woman, and maybe this is to other women as well, to say there are battles that I don't get to fight.
Yeah.
Because we have God.
Yeah.
There are battles that I don't get to fight. Because I'm able to go to God in prayer and say, Lord, that's your child. That's your son. You know better. And I may not be able to actually fight him on this one. I don't even know where he gets this from. But you know, and you know how to get it out. And you know what? It gets fixed. Because I move away knowing that there's somebody else that is in charge of you. You
allow a higher authority, allow a higher power. You know, there's something interesting. I hear some men say, my wife doesn't submit. I don't have a problem with you submitting, because you're submitted to Christ first.
Exactly.
And submitting comes effortlessly. And I can say, without a shadow of doubt, any fear, that you are a wife that submits to me. And, you know, it's sweatless, it's effortless. I appreciate you for that.
You're welcome.
And I know that it comes through your Christ. And the last one I want to part on is that, you know, if I wasn't in God, my wife, I would trouble you. I will like call here in Joburg. I'm calling Strat. I'd be all over in the streets. I come from a family of a father. My dad had 5 firstborns. In my family, you know that there are generational curses and stuff flowing in our bloodline. Yes. This blood has been purified by Christ. Otherwise, I come from a crazy,
thank God.
Thank God. Yes. I come from a crazy bloodline. I come from a bloodline of alcoholics. But Christ, and I'm glad I started taking alcohol at the age of 12 actually. But Christ stopped me right in my tracks. Age 13 in 1998. I gave my life to Christ. If I could tell you about my siblings, where they are, if I could tell you about my peers who I was with at school back then, it's just a sad sight. So for me, it's not a case of religion, I know that we don't like bringing the subject of Christianity, us being Christians or even pastors into our professional life. But, some people do ask sometimes, you guys, we know you're pastors, please speak about it, or Christians. So for me, it's not a religious thing. It's a transformation thing. Christ coming into my life, he transformed me. Not having a father who would model Christ, who would model principles of family, coming from a broken family. Christ modeled marriage for me. Yeah. Because I saw him how he loved Christ. Ephesians 5, verse 25, where he says, husbands, love your wives like Christ loved the church. So when I love you, I don't love you like Bake wants to love you. I love you like Christ loved the church. Yeah. He was patient. He forgave. He was gentle.
He's still.
Looking for a gentleman or looking for the gentleman's code, go to Christ.
True.
And I live in that template. So I'm grateful, it helped me with my past to become a responsible father. I have a history of father absenteeism. I have that void. And I vow to say, I don't want my children to go through that. And I can vow, as long as I'm alive, my children will never experience father absenteeism.
We really thank God.
Yeah.
Yeah, for his mighty hand on you. There's so much, I know what you're talking about when you say, if you didn't have Christ. I know exactly what you're talking about, because the background that you come from is a background I'm well aware of. I come from myself.
Similar.
Yeah. Okay.
Are you looking forward to divorce? As we've been talking about this great journey of where we started, I think a big question that would come from our viewers is, so you guys have a beautiful story, pristine, kept cool, and, does divorce come into your minds? Do you ever talk about divorcing each other? Do you look forward to divorce? Are you looking forward to divorce? It's been 14 years of marriage, but when we include our dating, which was 10 years, it's been 24 years together. Are you thinking of divorce at a point in time? Does it ever cross your mind?
Okay, so to be honest, for me, sometimes it crosses my mind. But the reason it crosses my mind, and I want to firmly say that it's the devil's work.
Yeah.
It's the devil's work, because it's basically something that you basically are fighting with. I know this is something that I struggle with, coming from where I come from, coming from my background. Remember, I did mention that I'm coming from a family of, strong, independent women. And even in that, there are women that have come back from marriage. So there is divorce in my family.
Yeah.
And there are times where I'm like, oh my goodness, I just feel like, what has happened? So you find that it's a reaction from maybe something that has just happened. Maybe it's an argument or something that we are disagreeing on. And I'm like, divorce could actually happen here. But it's something that I quickly then go back with to God to say, that is not my portion.
Yeah.
I didn't get married to divorce. I didn't get married to just let go. And I learned also from you, and I'm very happy that you are that kind of a person that says, you don't just give up, you don't just let go. Just because one thing or two things didn't go your way, then you feel like, okay, this is something that I'm not continuing with. It is, I actually even learned from you that if there is a problem, it's not even my problem. It's a problem that we share, and it's a problem that we work on together to make sure that it is solved. So, yeah.
From my side, I ain't preparing for divorce.
Yeah.
It does come sometimes because of the societal narrative. You hear that everyone is divorcing, but I don't think divorce. I think it's awesome. It's been an awesome 14 years of marriage. I think also as marriage therapists, we see a lot of people going through divorce. We know the factors that lead to divorce. I think in my case and your case, the most important part, what would keep us together, is always being open to humility. Yeah. As long as we are both humble, as long as both of us are willing to find an amicable solution, we will survive. So, I'm looking forward to many more years, many more decades, raising our kids, releasing them for marriage and starting their lives. In a nutshell, it's fun being married to you.
It's fun being married to you. Yeah. I'm not going anywhere, by the way.
I like being married to you. It's been fun.
I like being married to you.
Yeah. It's been a pleasure.
It's been a great one.
It's been a blast on this podcast, Love and Marriage Today. Quite insightful thoughts. It was a great time. It was quite a great time. Yeah. How we met. This was part 2, and we just wanted to keep going. I hope that our story inspires everyone, on relationships and marriage. True love does exist. I found my true love, and I'm happily married for 14 years. I'm committed to being a great father, a great husband, a great leader in my home. So continue to subscribe, continue to comment, continue to share every video that comes out, every podcast, every episode that comes out. Let's see you at our Recharge Your Marriage conference in your province, Mpumalanga. It's 29 March 2025 in Middelburg. That's where I'm meeting all of the towns in Mpumalanga. We are meeting there. Please, we've got people that drive from as far as Botswana, Lesotho, Eswatini, Zimbabwe to attend these events. So if you're just in a neighboring town like Mbombela or White River or wherever, let's not be lazy. Let's travel. Let's see Mzansi Africa. KwaZulu-Natal, 5 April 2024 in Durban, KwaZulu-Natal Recharge Your Marriage Conference. Let's meet there at the Jesus Dome. We've got 3,000 people attending. If you're at Richards Bay, if you are at Ladysmith or Pietermaritzburg, wherever you are, make yourself there. Let's gather. I've got an exceptional lineup of speakers. We're going to have a great time.
We will. So don't miss it for anything.
Looking forward. See you on our next episode. This issue of money causes a lot of couples to fight.
Yes.
A lot of couples fight. A lot of couples are divided because of money issues.
Yeah.
These are philosophical issues. Already, if your philosophy is a philosophy of individualism,
exactly.
Your marriage cannot last. Marriage calls for a mindset, a paradigm of oneness, working together.
I think also it comes from a place where maybe men also have realized that some women, they come and start a relationship with them because there's something that they're looking for. And also for women, it could be a thing of, this is my one thing that tells me or that gives me my independence.
I hear a lot of men talking about women being gold diggers. My question becomes, why marry a gold digger?
Exactly.
Why did you marry a gold digger? Because it goes back to, we spoke in another episode, we spoke about the constitution that you have as a couple, where you started, what you agreed on.
I want my girls to know what it means to make something. If you want something, do something about it. Don't wait for somebody to do it for you or to get it for you. Do something about what you want. You owe yourself that.